Faith and critical thinking. A common challenge posed by atheists to people of faith is whether belief in God can be subjected to the same level of critical thinking as scientific inquiry. This question often carries the implication that faith in God is somehow uncritical or irrational, while scientific understanding is based on constant questioning, testing, and refinement. In addressing this, we must explore whether belief in God can be critically examined in the same way science explains natural phenomena and whether a person of faith should constantly question the veracity of their beliefs. Here, I will argue that faith in God and critical thinking are not mutually exclusive. In fact, a robust faith is one that welcomes questioning, reflection, and deep exploration. Moreover, while faith and science operate in different domains, they are complementary in the pursuit of truth. I will show that belief in God can be rationally examined and that critical thinking is essential to a mature and thoughtful faith. 1. Faith and science. Different but complementary domains. At the outset, it is important to recognize that faith and science operate in different domains of inquiry, even though they are not in opposition to each other. Science is primarily concerned with understanding natural phenomena through the study of physical processes, observation, experimentation, and the development of theories that can be tested and refined. It seeks to answer the how questions of the universe, how things work, how they interact, and how they can be predicted based on observable data. Faith, on the other hand, addresses the ultimate questions of existence, meaning, purpose, and morality. It seeks to answer the why questions, why the universe exists, why there is something rather than nothing, why moral values exist, and why humans have consciousness and free will. Faith is not opposed to science, but it goes beyond science to explore transcendent realities that science cannot fully address. It is also important to clarify that belief in God is not blind faith without evidence. It is a reasoned belief supported by philosophical, metaphysical, historical, and experiential evidence. While God cannot be studied in a laboratory or measured with scientific instruments, this does not mean that belief in God is irrational. Rather, the tools of philosophical reasoning, moral inquiry, and experiential knowledge are better suited to exploring the question of God's existence. 2. Critical thinking and faith, a healthy relationship. To suggest that faith excludes critical thinking is a misunderstanding of both faith and critical thought. A mature faith actively engages in questioning, reflection, and seeking deeper understanding. Critical thinking involves analyzing assumptions, evaluating evidence, and refining beliefs based on reason and reflection. This applies not only to scientific theories but also to religious beliefs. Faith seeks understanding. The Christian tradition has long emphasized the importance of critical thinking and intellectual inquiry within faith. As Saint Anselm famously said, faith is a process of faith-seeking understanding. Belief in God does not mean one stops thinking critically. Rather, it is the beginning of a journey that involves seeking a deeper understanding of God, the world, and one's place in it. C.S. Lewis, a Christian thinker, once said that reason is God-given, and it is through the use of reason that we can explore the truths of the Christian faith. The Bible itself encourages believers to test everything, hold fast what is good, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21, indicating that faith should not be blind or unquestioning but grounded in critical reflection and evidence. Apologetics and rational inquiry. Christian apologetics is a field dedicated to defending and explaining the rational basis for faith. Apologists like William Lane Craig, Alvin Plantinga, and others engage in rigorous philosophical and theological debates that address atheistic critiques and present reasoned arguments for the existence of God. Through arguments like the cosmological argument, the moral argument, and the teleological argument, apologists use logical reasoning and evidence to support the belief in God's existence. Thus, critical thinking is an integral part of the Christian faith. It allows believers to question, doubt, and seek answers while maintaining a foundation of trust in the reasonableness of faith. 3. Is faith subject to scientific methods? The second part of the atheist challenge asks whether faith can be examined using the same methods as science. The short answer is that faith in God is not subject to scientific testing in the same way natural phenomena are because God is not a natural object within the universe. God, by definition, is transcendent, existing outside the boundaries of space and time, while science is limited to studying the natural world. Limits of science. Science is a powerful tool for understanding the natural world, but it is limited in scope. It can explain how things happen in nature, but it cannot answer the why questions that go beyond physical processes. For example, why does the universe exist? Why are there objective moral values? Why does consciousness exist? These are metaphysical questions that require philosophical reasoning rather than empirical testing. For instance, God's existence is often explored through philosophical arguments like the cosmological argument, why the universe must have a cause, the fine-tuning argument, why the universe appears designed, and the moral argument, why objective moral values exist. These arguments are rationally structured and use inference to the best explanation, which is a form of critical reasoning. Faith informed by reason. Though faith is not based on scientific testing, it is informed by reason, and reason can include evidence that is broader than just empirical data. For example, historical evidence, moral experiences, philosophical arguments, and personal experience all contribute to the rational justification of faith in God. Christians believe that God's existence is the best explanation for a range of phenomena that cannot be adequately explained by materialism alone. 4. Constantly questioning the veracity of faith? The suggestion that one must constantly question the veracity of their faith can be misleading. Critical thinking does not mean that one must live in a state of perpetual doubt. Instead, critical thinking involves rigorous evaluation of one's beliefs and being open to evidence, reason, and reflection. However, it also means that once a belief has been examined and found rational, one can hold to that belief with confidence while still being open to new insights. For example, just as a scientist does not constantly question the law of gravity every day once it has been sufficiently confirmed, a person of faith does not need to constantly question the existence of God once they have found sufficient reasons for belief. This does not mean that they close themselves off to new evidence or insights, but it means they can live out their faith with intellectual confidence. Faith and certainty. Faith is not the same as absolute certainty. In fact, faith involves a trust in what one has good reasons to believe, even when there is not complete certainty, which is true of most things in life. Faith is not a rejection of doubt but a commitment to pursuing truth despite the presence of uncertainty. It acknowledges that human knowledge is always limited, but it trusts that there is a rational foundation for belief in God. Conclusion. Critical thinking and faith are compatible. In conclusion, faith in God and critical thinking are not at odds. A mature faith is one that embraces questioning and critical reflection. While the methods of science are not fully applicable to questions of metaphysics and theology, the reasoning used in philosophy and apologetics provides a rational basis for belief in God. Christians can and should use critical thinking to explore, understand, and strengthen their faith, just as they do with other areas of knowledge. Thus, belief in God is not uncritical or irrational. It is grounded in evidence, reason, and reflection, and it can stand up to the challenges posed by skepticism when approached with an open mind and a commitment to truth. Far from avoiding critical thinking, faith invites a deeper engagement with the biggest questions of existence. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.